Hi everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Hi
Hello,
Harsh.
Kashish.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
I would quickly like to request all of you to type the name of your college and the semester you are in the chat box. Let's quickly do that. Till then, we are waiting for more people to join in and we'll start in the next 3 to 5 minutes and then we're good to go. Just quickly type the name of your college and the semester. All right, Priyanshu is from 5th semester. Others? All right, Nishant is from 3rd semester. Hi, Bhakti. Hi, Prakhar. Hi, Khushi. All the new joinees, quickly type the name of your college and the semester you are in and type a yes in the chat box if you're excited for today's session, if you're excited to learn about SDE. And yeah, so just quickly type the like yes and the college name in the chat box. Guys, I'm waiting for the name of your colleges and the semester you are in. So quickly type that, and then we're waiting for more people to join, and we'll begin at 5:05. All right, Khushi's from IIT Dhanbad. Great. Do we have more people from like from IIT or from any other college? I guess no. All right, I guess we are good to go. So we are starting off by this session. Yeah, it's just a second. All right, so we can begin with today's session. So first of all, warm welcome to all of you, to all the students, to our mentor. And let's begin with this session and let's understand about the topic and about the purpose of this masterclass. So firstly, I would begin with my introduction. So I'm Kashish. I'm the student community head at My Ways, and I will be your host for today's session. Firstly, thank you so much for joining in. I hope you all find this session informative and insightful. And by the end of this session, you learn something new and you have multiple key takeaways from this particular session. So, firstly, I would like to tell about My Ways. So, it is an AI and career growth platform for the students. We aim to help them in being employable in their desired role. We provide them with internship opportunities, courses, training sessions, and we also help them with their growth. Just like that, we also conduct weekly master classes for our students to help them to learn new things in every week. So today we have Mr. Aman Kumar, the mentor for the day, who is currently working as SDE at Microsoft, and he will be taking today's session with us. He has completed his education from NIT Hamirpur. He has more than 5 years of experience in the tech domain. He has guided multiple students through his YouTube channel and podcast by sharing relevant content with them. And today he's here at My Ways um, to make you learn about today's topic. So today we will be breaking SDE, and that will help you to ace your coding round with My Ways. So the key takeaways from today's session will be how to prepare for it, what to do in your preparation and what to not, and what should be your mindset during the coding round. And at the end of this session, you will be also getting a certificate from our end and a hiring opportunity by the end of the session, which will be shared with all of you. So without any further ado, let's begin with today's session. Over to you, sir.
Uh, thank you, Kashish, for your kind introduction. So, thank you so much for that. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm so excited to let the session begin and share everything that I have with me with you guys, so that you can get benefited. So, yeah, really hoping for a great session. We'll also be having a Q&A since we are a small group of people currently. I hope many will be joining in, but I would like it to be very interactive, and I would love you guys to ask as much as questions possible so that I can answer them. So yeah, can we get started, Kashish?
Yes, sir, we can start with the session.
Sure. Let me share my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, it's visible. I hope it's visible to all the students. Type a yes if it's visible to you all.
Yeah. Please confirm once.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get started. So today the topic is how to ace tech interviews. I know this is very generic kind of topic, and you guys know most of the things that are there. But the session is important because I see a lot of I mean freshers or students who are in college. They do not they know things, but they are not able to convert it into a job at a good tech company. And there are few reasons for that that I'll be sharing soon. And I think many people or many students also try to, just focus on the technical side of the things. But in real world scenario, or when you start working at a company, it's not just technical side that, helps you in your career, but also the non-technical sides as well. So I'll be talking about those as well, because I've seen many good engineers, but since they are not sound with non-technical skills, they lag behind in their career. So I will be focusing on that as well, and definitely how to get started and how to get into all those things. We will be talking about that. So okay, let's get started. So tech interviews, we all know what are those, right? They are like on a high level. So I'm not talking about 4 rounds, 5 rounds, 6 rounds. I'm talking about all the rounds because to to clear anything, we need to know the rules, right? And then by rules we have to play. So the first round is generally online assessment rounds or telephonic rounds, depends upon the company or what are their, what are their rounds that they have specifically. Round two, basically, I have incorporated all the coding rounds uh, into round two only, where like you may have two or even three technical coding rounds where you will be asked questions, whether in-person interview or an online interview. And I guess online interviews are mostly happening currently, so it's better that you get prepared for that as well. Round three is system design. I think most of guys here are uh, college students, but if you go to higher positions, if you have 2 3 works of experience, so system design is also asked. I just wanted this to be here because sometimes students do not know what they are, and they do not even worry about learning them. So it's better to learn while you are still in college, while you are still in early phase of your career, so that it will help you tremendously when you become senior software engineer. It's not just about cracking the coding interview. It's also about working as a great engineer in a particular team or in a particular company, right? And round fours are generally behavior, team fit, or any cultural fit, all those kind of uh, rounds that I have incorporated in the last round. So these are mostly 4 rounds on a high level. Some companies have 4 or 5 rounds of interviews. Some companies have 3 or 4 rounds of interviews. There are some other rounds where they give you a problem or project kind of thing, and they want you to solve that. So that is also there. So there are various stuff or various processes to get you hired into their company. Each company has their own method of doing that, but on a high level, all the MNCs or all the FANGs or MANGs that we talk about, they have a similar kind of interview coding interview rounds. So now let's talk about the common mistakes that students or the person who is interviewing makes, so that it becomes it does not make a good impression onto the people, and that after that it goes downhill. Making a good impression during interviews is also important, also essential, because what happens is when you have a good impression, even when like when you are talking, when you are explaining things, it matters a lot, and how you represent yourself matters a lot. So taking the interview casually, so what happens is I have seen that various students just for the sake of it take the interview, and they are not prepared well, or they are not putting in their efforts, and it becomes visible. Suppose if I'm interviewing, it becomes visible to me that the person has not prepared well or he's not very serious about the interview. So I think that mistake we should definitely avoid. If you're not prepared, ask for some more time, or maybe decline the interview request. But or even if you are giving interview without preparing, just be serious. Try to do 100% on your part. So that actually helps. But don't be very casual that when you go into an interview. Not dressed well, like when you are whether you are in an online interview or whether you are in person. Try to be well dressed and well groomed. It makes a good impression. Background messy or background noise, of course, in case of online interviews, these things do not help, and it also do not help you because you get distracted while solving a particular problem, or you do not have a good internet connection or something like that. If something like that happens, your whole focus goes away and you're not able to perform well. So these are for you, these are not for the person who is interviewing you, but these are for you, so that you focus on the things that matter in the interview, not the other things. uh, One more mistake that I have seen a lot is not thinking out loud. So what thinking out loud means? Thinking out loud means that when you are given a problem and when you are trying to solve, you are just saying what is going through your mind, what you are thinking, in which direction you are moving, so that the interviewer is aware about your thought process or how you pick a problem and try to solve that particular problem, right? So how you go ahead and solve that problem, how your brain functions, how you approach towards solving a problem. So all these things matters. And also, if interviewer thinks that you need some help, so they will be able to help you properly. I will also let you know that how they help. They help by asking questions that why you are doing this, what will happen if you do this. So these are cues that the interviewer is trying to help you. So think out loud. Whenever you are given a problem, you start thinking about the solution. So think out loud whatever is going through your mind. So in that way, it really helps the interviewer to judge you as well, and also to help you. Because one thing I will just let you know that the interviewer wants you to perform well. They do not want to discard you or probably kick you out. They want you to perform well, so that like you become part of their team, right? So it's better that you share what is going through your mind. The next one is start coding without thinking. So whenever you are given a problem, just straight away go into writing the code, right? So that's not a good way to go ahead, because what happens is sometimes vague problems are given to you. Vague problem is when you read a problem statement, you have some vague idea about it, or if you have any questions, ask those questions, clarify whatever there are. If you think that something is missing, ask about it. So first you need to read the problem statement, understand the question, and then only try to find the solution of that. Think out loud at that point of time. And coding is the last part that you should be doing, like when you discuss the solutions, you discuss the pros and cons, you discuss the time complexities, and then at the end you code, right? So coding is not the first thing that you should be doing whenever you are given a problem, though it should be the first thing that you will be doing in online assessments, because online assessments are time based. So you have to just start putting, but there also thinking needs to be there. You need to have a approach to that particular problem. But yes, coding in-person interview or online interviews, you should definitely first think, discuss, and then start coding and not asking questions. So this mistake I have also seen, and I myself have made when I was in college, that I did not used to ask questions because I thought, what will I ask? But there are a lot of things that you can ask about the team, about the culture, about the work they do, just normal stuff. Research about the company so that you have more content on what to ask, right? So you should definitely ask questions with the interviewer. So these are some of the common mistakes that I have listed out, and I have seen it. Some of them I myself have made, but yeah, that we should not be doing. Now moving to the most important part, that is the first step. So getting interview call is the first step, that you need to have an interview to apply these learnings. So I thought that maybe I'll just put one slide on this, because I see a lot of students or folks not doing correct not doing it correctly, and they apply everywhere, but they do not get, interview calls or something like that. And they keep wondering that why they are getting rejected, or why their resume is not getting selected, or why they are not receiving interview calls. So that's what I wanted to talk about. So the first and basic thing is resume. So you should have a good resume. We all know that, but resume should be very concise and it should be one page. Try to have one page resume only. A two page, three page resume is a big no. Try to have relevant things on the resume only. Uh, so if you are a student, or if you are still a student, or if you are trying to apply into new companies, or maybe companies for a role, so first you should see the job description, that what the company requires. That really helps you in building resume. And one mistake I have seen that people doing is using the same resume for every role they apply to. No, it should not be like that. Whatever job description is there, whatever role is there, you have to tweak your resume uh, in a way that it suits the job description. And definitely you don't have to lie in resume, because ultimately it will be figured out, and that really degrades your impression, and that other things. But I think you should not lie on your resume, but definitely you should tweak your resume with respect to the job description that they are having. Also, uh, so there are three or four main components that should be there on your resume. So if you have some work experience, then definitely the first thing that should be going there is your work experience. But if you are in college, then do not put like your extracurricular activities or something like that. You can put if you have space, but they're not actually required. So what you should be putting, you should be putting your projects that you have worked upon, if you have any open source contributions, if you have interned with some other company while in college. So all those kind of stuff. Then you can put about your education and everything. Your skills should be there on the top of that. So the first thing that should be on your resume is that skills. So, and it should match with the job description that you have, that okay, these are the skills that are required. I have these skills, so they match. So put your skills first, then your work or experience, or whatever projects you have worked upon. And then it's also better to put links to some of the projects that you have done, because that really helps in the interviewer to actually see that whatever you are saying is correct, right? So that we call proof of work. So if you have proof of work, if you have some website that you have made, your personal website or portfolio website, you should also put it there, your GitHub links, all those kind of things. And also put your email ID and phone number, which is up to date, and they should be able to contact you. So these are the few things that you have to keep in mind. Resume will itself can take a lot, or can take a whole session, but I just wanted to talk about these things in brief. Okay, so moving on to next things, that is referrals. So referrals are basically you are asking someone to refer you, and there are two types of things, like you know the person and you don't know the person. If someone is your friend, or your relative or something like that, then definitely you should be get referred, and you should have. But if you are contacting someone to refer you, so be very precise that what you want. You should be prepared with everything. Do not just send on LinkedIn or Twitter hi and then ask for a response. Straight away go for hi, I need referral, and do some research from your side only. It becomes easier for the person to refer you quickly if you do not give them job ID. So there are two things that you should definitely give or DM to the person you are asking for referrals. The first thing is the job ID. So when you are suppose asking for a guy to refer in their company, so go to their company careers page, or from LinkedIn, you will get the job IDs. What is the job ID of the role that suits you? And then second thing is your updated resume. These two things are very important when you are asking for referrals. So please do these. Send a message, send a nice message, and wait for it. Like they may have been working, or they may be busy. So just wait for 1 or 2 days, and then again uh, you can follow up. But yes, please ask for a reference, do these two things, and it would be really great if you also show them also proof of work, like some of the work that you have done, or the links to that, if possible, or your GitHub repo, or something something that proves that you are asking for referral and you are also very good at it, good at what you do and what are your skills corresponding to that. So it really becomes very good. It creates a good impression, and that person might refer you as well. So yeah, again, the third is cold emails or career space. Definitely you should check about all the career space of all the companies. They have their listings there, so you can research about what the role is, what is the job description, what is required of you, and also you can mail to some recruiters and everything, and you can get interview calls. And the last thing is sharing proof of work. So I have already talked about this, that what is proof of work. So proof of work is basically whatever you're saying. Suppose you are a web developer, correct? So you have created some sites and you are sharing the links, or you are just talking about them online. So these are kind of becomes, you are sharing your repo of the GitHub. So this becomes your proof of work, that you have done, what you have done, how you have done. So that sometimes what happens is hiring managers or whoever is interviewing, they go to your GitHub profile, or they might go to your website and check what it does, or check your code, that okay, how you have done coding, and what is your style of coding, if something can be done improved, all those kind of things. So sharing proof of work is like very important thing, I think. Since COVID, I think this has become more important, since we everything has now, most of the things has now shifted to online. And having a proof of work really increase your chances in getting hired by a big tech company. Yeah, so these are the some of the things that you can do to get interview calls, and I think this one is very important, because you can only apply the interview learnings or anything when you get the interview calls, right? If you do not get interview calls, you will not be able to prove yourself or get that opportunity. So yeah, moving to next big thing is the DSA, data structures and algorithms. So I mean, this has become, what can I say? It just has become a race for solving that number of problems. Uh, Many people solve thousands or 500, or they just do for the heck of it, but they do not actually understand what is going through it. So not just for munching thousands of questions or something like that, right? You just have to solve problem. You have to figure out why that problem is false. I'm not against that. You should not do thousands of questions. You should definitely do them, and I think practice makes better chances, right? So, I mean, practice is really important, but just not the heck of it. You just really be doing practicing all the sort of questions, yes, but you should not be munching them. Like, you should not be doing it mindlessly. You should be able to figure out why certain things was applied, or why I am applying binary search to this particular problem, or why I am using this data structure to this particular problem. So you should be able to understand things. You want to be a DSA is therefore, I mean, problem solving, to increase your problem solving ability. But yes, you should be able to figure out why you are solving a particular problem and why you are using a particular data structure to that. So yeah, I mean, these two things are important. Definitely practice thousands of question practicing is important, but not in a way that you just have to do it mindlessly, right? Some people just do it. Also, definitely, whenever you are preparing for coding rounds or online assessments, OAs are basically online assessments. So whenever you are preparing for online assessments, you should I mean, practice with time constant, because in online assessment you have 1 hour or 2 hour of test, or 1.5 hour of test, and you have 2-3 questions that are needed to be solved, right? So there is a time limit, so you have to practice that as well, right? So you should be able, you should not just be able to solve the problem, but you should be able to solve the problem within the time frame. So spend 30 to 40 minutes if the problem is really complex, but not more than that. So if you feel that it's taking more than 40-45 minutes, then definitely you need some more clarity on the topic, and then again try it. Try to make a find a pattern or make a pattern. So basically what here I'm trying to say is, whenever you are given a problem, and if there are some similar kind of problem, try to figure out a pattern. If there is some pattern, if some particular data structure is being applied to a particular kind of problem, so you have to figure it out, then only your problem solving skills will improve. And finding patterns will also help you to do or solve that particular problem faster. So definitely you should find a better, definitely practice makes our life easier. We should definitely be practicing. If you are a college student, yes, I see a lot of debate going around data structure algorithm, whether we should do it or not do it, or maybe competitive programming, whether we should do it or not do it. I think that you should definitely know data structure and algorithms. I'm not saying you should not do competitive programming. If it, if it feels good to you, please do that. If it doesn't, then, but for me, you should always be doing data structure and algorithms, because they are the base, and you should be knowing in detail like how they work, why do they work, or why they are applied to a particular problem. So I think you should be uh, working towards that. And I also see a lot of people start solving those problems on multiple websites. For me, what I would suggest with, like, when you are just starting or when you are just learning, pick one site, uh, learn there, or probably learn from multiple resources, but practice there, and then you can move to multiple sites. So this is my personal opinion. You can have your opinion can vary, but yeah, this is what I did. Yeah. Okay, so now some of the best practices that we should follow during our interview preparation or during interviews. So preparation, obviously we have to practice data structure, algorithms, system designs, everything. So you should prepare well. I guess there. I mean, yes, you will fail in the way, but you should not leave practicing these things. You should always be practicing, always be improving, always being better. So definitely practice, and you should also give your 100%. Do not just try to solve, I mean, at least try to solve one or two problem every day. Just be consistent with it, because what happens is, whenever you leave it for 2 3 days, your consistency breaks, and it takes some more time to get on the groove. So it's better that you practice daily. Plan your preparation. So suppose if you are in the final year or third year, you want to earn 2 3 months time is there for the your placements to start. So you should definitely plan that, how I'm going to achieve that goal, how I am going to practice or learn DSA, or some making some projects, or all those kind of things. So you have to plan your preparation. Having a timeline definitely pushes you. Like, if you think that you have a lot of time, you will procrastinate or you will not do well. But if you put a timeline that within 2 months I have to complete this, then obviously it will help you out. Communication skills, I think this is one of the most important things that people leave while preparing. So I have seen a lot of people being very nervous during interviews, or they're not able to explain their solution to the problem, or something like that, right? So here your communication skills really matter. I have seen a lot of guys who are like very sharp and very intelligent, but they are not able to communicate properly. So I think you should, if you feel that you can improve your communication, definitely improve your communication skills. It will help you out in the long run. And know your strengths means what you are good at, uh, whether it's competitive programming, whether it's web development, whether it's something else. Know your strength, and just double down on that, because at the end, your whatever your strength is, you that will help you in your career for a long time. And yes, knowing your strengths means knowing your weaknesses as well. And you should definitely work on your weaknesses, but you should keep doing whatever you like and starting this. Okay, so now I'll go to some of the interview things that will help you out. I'll share one story. So what I used to do is during my interviews, I used to become very nervous. So what I used to do, I just started introducing myself, and like before starting the interview, that hi, my name is Aman, and currently I'm doing this. Then we used to have a little 2 3 minute conversation with the interviewer, and that really helped me out in easing through the interview process. So it's a very good thing. It can be anything for you, but just to make you feel comfortable, try to introduce yourself and then talk about few things, and then you can move on to the things. Not talking out loud, I guess I have already talked about these things. Whenever you are solving a problem, when you are in an interview, think, talk out loud. I mean, whatever you are thinking, just talk about there. Just start talking about those things, so that like the interviewer knows whether you are going in right direction or not. So yeah, ask clarifying questions. Yes, when you are given a problem, ask questions. Ask about boundary cases. Ask about what will happen if this is the case, what will happen if this is not the case. So these are kind of clarifying questions that you have to ask, and you are expected to ask questions. uh, do not refrain from asking. I mean, a lot of folks, they hesitate in asking questions. I think that is very, a bad way to go. I think you should definitely ask questions. You should not hesitate, and you should, if you feel that you're shy or something like that, you should, I mean, have you should give mock interviews to your friends. You should ask questions from them. You should prepare for that as well. That you have to ask questions. Now, thinking before coding, I think I have already talked about that. I mean, do not straight away go to the like, okay, you are given a problem and you have just started writing code, right? So that's not a good practice. I mean, first, definitely understand the problem, ask clarifying questions, think about the solution, discuss the solution, then only, go for the coding part. Discussion with the interviewer. Yes, I just suggested you that you should discuss your solution. You should discuss if there are pros and cons for a particular solution, or why you are using this particular solution or not that particular solution. Discussion can go. Sorry, discussion can go when you are giving a system design interview. So in that, I mean, there can be a lot of discussions. So I think discussing with the interviewer is like one of the good things that you can do. Check boundary cases and write production level code. So yes, this is very important. Check boundary cases means a lot of times you just do not think about boundary cases scenario. So you have to think about that as well. Your code will be production level code, production ready code. Production ready code means it should not have any bugs or something like that. Think through all the scenarios. And also one of the good practices that I would suggest is do not, sometimes we put variable a equals to or variable x. Do not do something like that. The variable names should also be meaningful, so that really, improves your chances that okay, you have good coding standards instilled in your, in your system, or you have a habit of writing good code, right? So writing good code is also important. Do not just play a variable a equals to something or variable b equals to something. Give a meaning to the variable. I think these are few things that also, uh, puts a good impression on the interview, that you are able to write good code. And ask questions, definitely. I guess I have written this multiple times, but asking questions not just about, coding part when you are coding, but also what are the work they are doing, what are the problems they are solving, how the team works, all those kind of questions they ask. Okay, now there are some miscellaneous things like background should be clean, get hints. I mean, as I said, they will be asking questions that why you are doing this, why you're not doing that, or why you are using array, why you are not using linked list, right? So you should get this, that okay, they are trying to give you a hint that you should think about something, right? So you should be also be able to get hints. They will not specifically say that okay, I'm going to give you a hint and this is the hint, right? You should be able to grasp that. So these are some of the few things that you should be doing. Dress well, of course. Communicate your thoughts well. I think I have discussed it in length that you should be able to communicate your thoughts well. You should be able to formulate. I mean, the other person should be able to understand whatever you are saying, right? It should not be very vague. And one more thing, research about the company. Yes, I have seen many folks like they interview for the company, but they do not know what the company product is or what does the company do, or and that's why you are not able to ask the questions, because if you research about the company, then you will be able to go through a lot of products, a lot of their values, a lot of things that they do, and then you'll have multiple questions that what does this product do or how they do. So I mean, researching about the company really helps you. Now, talking about the mindset, this thing is important. I guess this is not talked about much. That mindset also plays a huge role in in getting a good opportunity or landing in big MNCs or banks or banks. Because what happens is I have seen a lot of people just dismiss themselves because they think that, oh यार ये तो बहुत बड़ी कंपनी, यहाँ तो मेरा होगा ही नहीं, या they do not feel like ki, oh, this is such a huge company, I am not that much prepared. So this is sometimes a mindset thing as well, because you do not trust yourself, you do not believe yourself, and you do not put your 100% hard work, right? So give your 100%, just try to at least try to put an effort. You just cannot discount yourself that it will not be done, right? So I have seen this thing. That's why I put a lot of emphasis on mindset as well, because it happens that after one or two failures we just think that it's not possible, right? So refrain from that mindset. Give your 100%, do hard work. I think everyone can do it, everyone can get a good job. It's just about putting in those kind of efforts. And yeah, I mean, that's not a big, it's very simple actually. You just have to put in efforts regularly for for whatever time it takes, and just keep giving interviews. And also, one more thing, I see a lot of people just leave that key. Okay, I am failing 4 interviews or 5 interviews. So the interviews are not failure until you make them, because even if you failed interviews, right? You know that what did not work and what worked, and where do you need to put more work, like you are lacking something, whether it's communication skill, whether it's technical skill. So you know that what are the mistakes that you did in the previous interview, and you should keep working on that. I have also failed multiple interviews before getting into the current company that I am in. But the point here is that you should learn from every mistake that you do, or every interview that you could not clear, and you should work on them, and then you should start applying those learnings in the next interview. And having the right mindset, like growth mindset. So right mindset means you are not over your head, or you're not discounting yourself, right? Have the right mindset that okay, you should be able to do these things. It's just that you have to put in that much of effort, that much of effort, or that much of hard work is required. You have to go through all the grilling, right? Good things take time, so definitely you have to put in effort. And if you even like if you do not get selected for your dream company, so it's fine. I mean, it's not end of the road, right? I have seen a lot of people getting rejected 3 4 times from their dream company, but still they are in a decent job. They, because the love is towards coding, the love is towards tech. It's not about a particular company. So if you fail your dream company or not get selected, try next time. But do not think that okay, I could not go into my dream company, so everywhere else I cannot work or something like that, or you're not giving your 100%, or you just leave that thing. No, it's not that. You should have the right mindset to apply again, or probably keep learning, keep improving yourself. So I think having the right mindset, and a lot of folks do not give emphasis or correct emphasis on the mindset, but I think it's very important, because sometimes it becomes hard that you are preparing 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, right? And you are not getting selected. So it becomes very hard for you to keep going. And that's where right mindset helps you. Okay. So yeah, I guess these are the things that I wanted to talk about. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you might want. If you have any questions later as well, you can ask me. So these are my socials. And yeah, we can get started for question and answers. Definitely, I've shared a lot of information. But if you have any questions, anything related to what I shared, or anything else, please, I'm up for it. And this is the thing that I just wrote, that don't just crack interviews. So yeah, I see this word crack interviews or something like that. So I do not really like the this, because it feels that it has become only that you just crack the interview and you go into the company and that's it. But that's not it. I mean, you have to do a lot of work, and sometimes the work we do is very different from what we are asked in the interview, right? Software engineering is much more than that. Try to be an awesome engineer. I think that should be our main goal, that we should try to always strive to be a good engineer, good problem solver. And I mean, yes, then clearing interviews will be just an after effect. I mean, you will be able to clear interviews. I mean, you will be ready always. You don't have to prepare for an interview. So if you are a good engineer, if you are a good problem solver, then it would be fine. And have the love for coding. I think we all are software engineers, and if you love coding, then definitely you'll do wonders. So yeah, that's it. uh, what I wanted to discuss. Let me know if you have any questions. Over to you, Kashish, if you want to take any questions or something like that.
Yes, sir. So, first of all, thank you so much. You break down the entire thing in a very simple format, and I personally really liked this session, and I hope our students also liked it. You guys can tell in the chat box how was the session and what were the points that you actually liked. You can give the feedback by unmuting yourself or by typing in the chat box, whatever, in whatever way you are comfortable. Uh, Adding on to that, we can take up the questions from you all. But before that, while the registrations, we received few questions which are very common, and I would like to ask those questions on the behalf of our student
Sure.
okay. So this will be like a quick rapid fire sort of round. So the
Okay.
first question that we received was, what is the difference between a software developer and a software engineer?
I think this is a very common question that is asked. See, for some companies, it's just what you can say, just a title that is given, software somewhere, software developer, software engineers. Personally, I do not feel any difference. At the end, we are just engineers who are trying to solve a problem, right? So whether the title given is software developer or whether title is given is software engineer, you have to solve the problem. When you become a bit senior, you have to design, solve. I mean, if the problem statement is vague, you have to find out about the problem. So I think the process of solving a problem is what, you know, and what kicks me actually. So whatever title I'm working upon, I do not worry that much about it. But whatever problem that I'm solving, that is important for me. So that's what I would say.
All right. So the next question was that which is the best language for SDE?
I think it's a very vague question. I think it depends upon the problem that you are solving, right? I mean, best language, I cannot say. I mean, see, what happens is each language has its own pros and cons, right? Some people like, so starting with, I started with C++, right? But all my other friends started with Java or something like that, right? So it depends upon the situation currently, what you like, go with that. I think in interviews, during interviews, you can go with all, there is no hard and fast rule that you should always be going with a particular language. You should go with whatever language that you are comfortable in, whether it's C++, Java, Python, anything. But what I would suggest is you should be really good at one language. So whether it's C++, whether it's Java, whether it's Python, you should be really good at it. And then you can extrapolate all those learnings into the other languages as well. So it's not very hard to learn multiple languages, but you should be really good at one language. JavaScript is also there. And when you go work, I think there are a lot of technologies that you will use, and technologies change in our industry. So, I mean, you should be using some new technologies every 4 years, 5 years. So, yeah, I mean, you should be very flexible with the language, but you should be knowing one language very well.
All right. So I received two questions in the chat box as well. Guys,
Yeah.
we'll take up all the questions from the students at the end. I'll complete with this rapid fire round. Till then, other students can also ask their questions so that we can take them at one point of time together at the end. So there was one more very common question, that what do SDE levels means? Like what is SD 1, 2? What is the meaning of that?
Yeah, I think that's a good question actually. ST1 means like when you join out of college, you are probably STE1 or SE1 or SWE1. There are a lot of names to it, but basically, when you are a new graduate, you are assigned a problem which is well defined. You just have to code or something like that, right? You have to just implement the solution of that particular problem. But as you have gained experience, as you move up the ladder, the problems become vague. Then you have to define the problem. You have to find a find, I mean, various thoughts, various problems, or discuss with stakeholders to gain more insights of the problem. So you have to figure out what the problem is. You have to figure out how you will solve that particular problem. Then you have designs. You will be able responsible for the designs, that how you will solve the problem, and then the implementation parts come in. So when you move from start to higher levels, the problem becomes vague. You get more responsibility as an engineer. Initially you just have to solve a particular problem that is given, that is well defined. But when you move up, you have to solve it, you have to think about it, you have to design it, you have to write test cases. So you have to do a lot of things more. So yeah, I guess that would be right answer.
All right. So I would like to ask one more question. So basically, you break down the entire thing in a very formatted way. So what if a student wants to become a SDE, and what are the five bonus points or tips that you as an SD at Microsoft wants to give to them? Some quick and tips that can help them in their journey.
I think I have already talked about them, but two, three things I would really, I mean, put my emphasis on is like be good, be a good problem solver. You will be solving a lot of different kinds of problem when you are where you will be working, right? So it helps that you become a good problem solver. Second thing is do a lot of projects. So try to do projects when you are still in college. Try to work on some real life projects, like try to implement something, like uh, not just go for everything that everyone is doing, right? Try to have some projects which are kind of unique and which are end to end. So something like that. So try to work on those projects. Try to get your hands on software engineering, how interact with people, how you work as a team, have your friends and work with them, so that you get a environment of how teams work and all those kind of things. And yeah, having proof of work, as I already told, this also helps you in having good I mean good advantage. But yeah, these two things I would just emphasize that first, try to be a good problem solver, think through the solution, think about the problem, and then obviously do multiple projects and whatever domain you are in. Yeah.
Very well said. I hope this is helpful for the students. So, all right, we've received few questions in the chat box, and I received few questions in the DM as well. Guys, you can change the settings to everyone and can share your question. So, this question we got from Saransh. He's asking what are the specific things we have to do for the preparation of our internships.
Saran, so internship are like same, right? Uh, Again, various companies, so companies, big tech companies definitely ask data structures and algorithms, and they have their online assessment rounds. So you have to prepare for that. So definitely prepare for that. And also you have to have some projects. So if you see, I'm consistently pressing on having projects and doing well in data structure and rounds. So these things help. If you are into web development and everything, if you want to be a front end engineer, or if you want to have experience in front end tech, so have some proof of work, make some projects according to your skills that you have, and showcase your skills. If you want internship or even job, try to do open source contributions, interact with them, whatever you feel like. So yeah, I mean, having projects, data structure algorithms, uh, and if you want, if you have more time, then you can go for open source contributions as well. So I guess these three things are really important when you are in college actually, and even for getting not just only for internships but full-time roles as well. It will be really important.
All right. So we received one very personal question. Like I received that on my DM. So it is for
Mhm.
a person with 2 years of experience in a service-based company. It is
Mhm.
required to create personal projects and maintain GitHub and all.
So you have already 2 years of experience, but if you feel that I mean, if you feel that you have worked according to your skills, right, then it's fine. But it's always good to have some projects under your bucket. If you had a good time while working in your previous company, you learned something, you worked on projects, what you did, what you gained out of that particular working experience, that matters. And yeah, I mean, you should always keep learning and keep improving. There is no harm in having projects under your belt, even if you are working. I've seen a lot of folks, or my friends, what they do is, even they are working as big tech companies, they keep doing something, they keep tinkering with something. So yeah, I mean, they keep doing projects here and there. So it's good to have them. And definitely, if you have 2 years of experience, I would also suggest you to start learning high level design and low level design, that is system design, because you will be asked them, because in as you have already 2 years of experience. So yeah, these three things you can keep in mind.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So we have one last question from Mohan. So he's asking, is there any age bar to enter in the SDE field?
No, I think tech industry is something somewhere you can go at any point of time. I have interacted with folks who like I interacted with a lady who was like in 50s and she was just starting coding. I have seen various folks switching careers into tech after doing something. So I have various international friends who started coding at the age of 30 or 35, and I am a very good friends them with them. I interact with them, so there is no age. I think you should, but the thing is, you should be very skilled. I mean, you should, since you will be competing with a lot of people, so you should be skilled. I think getting into job is bit difficult when you don't have prior background with computer science or maybe coding, but you can definitely get into it. So there is no age barrier. Just to answer your question, but I
Yeah.
have also seen folks or people, and I know them personally, who are a lot older, but they are in tech industry and they switch their careers from some other industry. So yeah.
All right. So, Mohan actually added one more thing to his question that I am in non-IT background, having more than 10 years of experience, but I want to switch over from non-IT to IT field.
Yes, Mohan, you can do that. And as I said, I mean, entry will be a bit difficult, but it's not impossible. If you have right skills, if you develop the right skills, if you showcase your skills, as I said, as a proof of work, since you already have experience, then you'll have to showcase your skills proof of work to people who are hiring. And yeah, I mean, you can get into it. And that's not impossible. That's possible, and I know people uh, who have done it. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. So, do we have any more questions? So, like one final chance. If anybody wants to unmute themselves or want to ask anything, they can go for it. So, I'll just wait for a few seconds. If you really want to ask anything, our mentor is here and he's here to answer your query. I guess we have covered all the questions.
Yeah.
So,
And on a lighter note, I talked about asking questions, and no one asked questions to me as well. So I think you guys should definitely work on it. Yeah, just on a lighter note.
I don't know how somehow I received few questions in the DM today. Not like they didn't do these
Okay.
settings for everyone. So I received questions from Saransh, Prakash, and Mr. Mohan as well in my DM.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. No issues, no issues.
yeah. So anyways, let's wrap up today's session. So
Yeah.
first of all, thank you so much, Mr. Raman, for coming today and helping our students and breaking down this very important topic in a simpler format and taking up their all the questions, and we as a company really appreciate that. So now, at the beginning of the session, I informed all of you that I will be sharing about a hiring opportunity with all of you. So now I will be talking about my Gurukul. So my Gurukul is an extended domain of my ways. So if I break it down for all of you, so at the one end we have the hiring companies, Paytm, Fleetex, many big MNCs and tech startups. And on the other hand, we have the student community, that is all of you. So you can get your dream company or get your desired role by going for three steps. The first one will be you have to give a hiring test, a 30 minutes normal hiring test for on your specified domain. If you qualify that, you will be getting a chance to sit for an internal interview with our team. And if you do that, then you will be getting an opportunity for the external interview with the company. So after following these three steps, you can get placed in your desired company and preferred role through MyWays. So I am dropping a interest form for the same in the chat box. You all can fill that. And we will be sharing the test links and other relevant informations related to that uh, through your email. So okay, okay. Mr. Raman, can we take one more question? Like it's related to Mohan's query only.
Sure.
Yeah, so he just said that I am MSc Mathematics, also completed my course in data science and machine learning, and also completed AWS cloud computing, but not getting opportunity in IT field.
Okay, so yes, it's good that you have taken these courses. As I said, entering can be a bit difficult, but what I would suggest you to do is build some projects that you have learned, and not just simple projects. Build some good projects, real life projects that may help, and share with the audience. Talk about it on LinkedIn, on Twitter. Share it. If you share it, and if you talk about it, then people will definitely notice you. And one more thing is, keep looking for companies who are hiring in these domains, and keep applying, not just one company, two company, but 10 company, 15 company, 20 company. So you have to have some patience, and definitely you will have to keep trying, and keep building some projects around it. I think that's the only way to go. And do not look for only for opportunities in India. Also, you can look for opportunities outside as well. So I mean, definitely talking about it, building some projects, and like social media can be a really powerful tool in this case. And I would recommend you to start using LinkedIn and connecting with the recruiters and everything there. So yeah, these are the action items that I can give you currently.
All right. Thank you so much. So we are done for this session. Mr. Aman, if you want to tell us anything, then you are
Yeah, yeah,
feel
yeah.
free to do that.
So yeah, it was really nice to be here, and I mean, I really liked our discussions and everything. And thank you for having me here, Kashish. Yeah, it was nice. Uh, yeah, that's it from my side.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Even we really liked your presence, and thank you so much, like once again, for taking up this masterclass. We are honored to have you. And thank you so much for all the students, all the participants who have been sitting over here and listening and understanding everything very patiently. And from the next time, I expect more and more questions from all of you in the chat box and more engagement. Till then, bye bye. Thank you so much. See you at the next weekend where my ways will come up with a new masterclass for all of you. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks. Bye. Bye.
Bye.